Well, what is Lockheed Martin hiding at their Skunkworks facility in the desert? UFO technology reverse engineered into secret craft that we're not allowed to know about for another 30 years? Anti-gravity propulsion technology? Or a new version of their Tic Tac anti-gravity aircraft, of course, that was spotted famously off the coast of the USS Nimitz, off the pilots off the USS Nimitz, of course, famously testifying before Congress. It's this man-made craft that could travel in ways that humans never could. What is being hidden right now at Skunkworks? Well, Anders Odison decided to find out. He's been sneaking out in the desert near the Lockheed Martin Skunkworks facility, camping out overnight using some incredible night vision technology as well as telephoto lenses to get as close as he possibly can without breaking in the law to try to get images of these secret aircraft. Watch.
I thought I heard a plane circling straight up ahead, and looks like we got a Predator drone. It's been flying circles. I still have service over here, so I was able to pull it up on my ADS-B app too.
Yeah, they're tracking him there or something. Who knows exactly what they're doing with that craft above his head. Maybe just testing out all sorts of new technologies. Well, Anders joins us now to talk about his experience there. And I watch your videos and just been fascinated about this. So, sometimes people do like clickbaity stuff, not you. Like you camped out trying to get answers at what's going on at Skunkworks. So thank you so much for joining us here on the show. I was excited to talk with you.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, Clayton. I really appreciate you having me on.
My pleasure. So what was the impetus for you to first start seeing and getting as close as you could to Skunkworks? What rumors had you heard over the years that you wanted answers to?
Well, I guess going back, I've always kind of been fascinated with the idea or the concept that elements within the military or military industrial complex are like 30 to 50 years ahead of the regular public technology-wise. So that's kind of what started my channel, is I really wanted to go out to these sites. You have Area 51, but you also have places like this Lockheed site that are run by private contractors where a lot of this new technology is developed. So I wanted to, I'd seen official press releases from Lockheed of this place, but I had never actually seen somebody go on the ground and just film stuff that happens, whether it's in the day or the night, and just kind of record and see what they can find out there. So I kind of wanted to do that. And this was my second trip out there, actually. I did another one back, and I think it was either February or March of this year. And I brought my night vision gear with me. I brought a really long telephoto lens, and I basically just went up into the hills, all on public land, and recorded whatever I could capture.
So on the screen here, Philip, if you could leave this up here, this is some of the night vision stuff that you were capturing. And we didn't know until the daytime when you woke up the next day what we were looking at. This weird, I guess you would call you call it a pylon. You call it a pylon with something on top of it, which looks like some sort of a craft. It was shocking. Let me kind of
break down. So we have the pylon, which what this is for is what's called radar cross section measurement. So this facility out in the desert, it's called the Helendale Radar Cross Section Facility, and they constructed this pylon to have a very low, almost invisible radar signature, which aids them in their measurement. Because what they're trying to do is they're testing these advanced aircraft and seeing how stealthy they are, seeing how they show up on radar. So what we're looking at here is the night vision footage was, I think, it was definitely a different airframe than what we're looking at in the daytime. The one we're looking at here, it could be, it's really hard to say. I'm not Lockheed Martin, so I'm not entirely sure, but it is some sort of a fuselage, I believe. It could be a model specifically to test like a new stealth material, or it could be like a fuselage with the wings removed of, say, a new drone. Lockheed Martin did recently announce the new Vectis drone. I don't think that's what this is, but it could be something similar. It could just be an airframe designed to test a new particular technology. There's quite a few possibilities.
And what's crazy is you saw this giant pylon like coming out of the ground and then going back into the ground with the aircraft like attached to it. And I was racking my brain. I was talking to a couple of my UFO buddies that we commiserate from time to time about different stories and things. And I'm just curious why this pylon comes out from underneath the ground, from their facility underground, and then stick straight up in the air? Like, what's the point? Is there some sort of an aerodynamic test point for it? Because you would think you would do that in your facilities underground. I just don't understand why they're sticking this thing up in the air.
Well, I've honestly kind of been fascinated with the way this facility has been constructed. So it has this massive 200-foot deep underground chamber that the pylon is actually stored in, and it does allow them to really quickly extend and retract the aircraft. So they actually store the aircraft underground. But for a lot of the measurement, I'm not the best at scientifically explaining it, but for the radar measurement that they blast the airframe with, it does have to be at least partially above ground. There are some indoor facilities now that do this, but this one, it was built during the Cold War. They kind of designed it to be able to quickly hide it from Soviet spy satellites, which is why it retracts below ground like it does.
So when you've been out there at nighttime, maybe we can play some of the nighttime footage as well. Have you... In the times that you've been there, have you witnessed anything in the air that you just think, wow, if Americans could see this type of technology or the speed with which these things move, they would be shocked? What have you seen while you've been there?
Well, at the Skunkworks facility in particular, I haven't seen anything flying except the drones, like the Reaper drone. I did see the first time I was out there a kind of interesting looking drone that was more angular shaped. It wasn't a Reaper. I'm not sure what it was, but it was, it was flying in circles above me, kind of like the Reaper was in this video. When I've been out more towards Nevada, like towards Area 51, when I've been looking through my night vision scope, I can sometimes see some things moving really high altitude that are pretty strange. Like, for example, you'll see something that looks like a satellite. It's moving consistent speed and consistent direction, but then all of a sudden it'll quickly change directions and suddenly it doesn't look like a satellite anymore. So there certainly are things flying around that I think the American public should know about, and we don't. So,
yeah, that was, to be honest with you, hand to the heavens. That's when I witnessed my first UFO that I ever saw. Looking up into the night sky. Natalie and I both saw it because we were both looking. We were checking with each other. Like, wait, are we seeing this? And way up there, and just started moving in an unbelievable speed in a box pattern, way up in the sky. Just right across the sky, up, then just back down, like traveling in enormous speeds. I figured I'd share that.
That's awesome. I truly believe if anyone who spends enough time looking up at the sky, you're eventually going to notice something unusual because it's up there. So,
microplastics are infiltrating every part of our body. Scientists estimate we now consume a credit card's worth of plastic every single week. Delicious. Not. It's right through our food system, even our water, even the air we breathe. One study found that plastic particles in 100% of human lung samples. So nobody is safe from exposure. It gets worse. These plastics don't just sit in your body. They cross the gut lining, leach into your blood, and disrupt everything. They've been shown to alter gut bacteria, suppress your immune response, and increase your risk of neurodegenerative disease, metabolic disorders, and cancer. Some plastic toxins, like BPA and phthalates, mimic hormones and interfere with fertility and damage DNA. Even if you eat clean or avoid packaged foods, you're still being exposed. You can't opt out, but your gut can help you fight back. Kimchi 1 from our friends at Brightcore Nutrition is a potential ally in this toxic world. It's packed with over 900 probiotic strains unique to kimchi, proven to break down BPA, helping you detox from the inside out. It doesn't just support digestion, it helps protect your cells, your brain, your hormones, and your future. Your body was never designed to handle plastic, but your gut was designed to protect you, and you have to give it the right tools. Right now, you can get 25% off if you use our code REDACTED at the link below. It's just mybrightcore.com/redacted. But an even better deal is if you call them. You call them, you'll get 50% off at 888-404-6312. And they'll also, I think, give you still that bottle of vitamin D3. You have to ask them about that. Kimchi 1 from Brightcore. Health starts in the gut. Our thanks to Brightcore for supporting our show. Maybe we can show some of the footage of here. The security trucks. So maybe you can explain like where you are on these mountains here, because we know at Area 51 they have all sorts of ground sensors that if you get near any of the gates, I know from different reporters who've tried to get close, like the sensitivity. I mean, even if it's like they know if it's like a gecko or a prairie dog is moving out there with these ground sensors. So Maybe you can talk about some of the security precautions that Lockheed has around this facility. And where exactly is this facility located?
Yeah, so this is, like I said, it's called the Helendale Radar Cross-Section Facility. It's technically located in Helendale, California, which is like a really small, unincorporated part of rural LA County. So it's out in the Mojave Desert. It's pretty remote. You'll have a few houses kind of scattered around out there, but it's far enough from LA to where you're not getting a whole lot of prying eyes on it out there, except people like me. But yeah, you got as far as security, they do have they're marked with Lockheed Martin security on the side of the pickups. They drive around the perimeter. I do notice if you drive by the gates or basically anywhere along the fence line, they come out really quick, even if you don't have a direct line of sight to the guard shack. So I do think there is some kind of a road sensor system they have going on, because as you say, at Area 51, they operate those. And I know these kinds of facilities are just as sophisticated, really. I did have some sort of there was a black pickup that came out and was kind of looking at me. I don't know. I think he may have been getting my plates, or some people theorize they may have been like capturing packets from my cell phone. You know, who knows? But they basically just kind of parked in the road next to me for maybe 20 minutes and were just kind of watching me. So I don't know exactly what to make of that, but it was interesting.
So, I mean, not to get in the full realm of speculation, but I think I'll just have a little fun here. What do you think?
I like that.
Yeah. Do you think that there's any advanced off-world technology being held and analyzed, rebuilt, reverse engineered at the Skunkworks facility?
My personal opinion is that probably yes. Now, we're definitely in the realm of speculation. I don't have any direct evidence of that, but I think there's enough credible testimony out there that would suggest that Lockheed Martin is probably one of the companies that would be involved in this. You know, they're the largest U.S. military defense contractor. They're the largest defense contractor in the world. So if it is true that the U.S. government has reverse engineered technology, I would certainly think Lockheed Martin would be one of the companies involved. And I think there's enough whistleblower testimony. You know, you have David Grush, you have Dylan Borland, who just came out. I'm big fans of what they've had to say to Congress, and I look forward to really hearing more. And I think we will hear Lockheed Martin's name come up as these kinds of hearings continue.
You know, not to tell tales out of school, but I'm sure once your videos hit and they became, they're pretty big, have you heard from any whistleblowers, or you can just shake your head or just wink from any Lockheed Martin individuals who are like wanted to fill you in on some of the stuff that they know about at Lockheed at Skunkworks? I
haven't had anyone reach out, unfortunately, to fill me in. I think it is so compartmentalized and so secretive that people reaching out like that would be taking a pretty considerable risk. I did get a private message from somebody who said they worked for Skunkworks after I published my first video, but they were more just kind of asking like where and when I filmed it, which I don't really know quite what they were getting at with it, if it was like, probing for security reasons or what, but it didn't seem hostile or anything like that. But that was the only message I got directly from a Skunkworks employee. I've had a few high profile people that were either former Air Force test pilots or former civilian employees at some of these kinds of places, like follow me on Instagram and Twitter. So I am hoping that, some of these people are going to start reaching out to me, because I would love to pick their brain and hear what they have to say.
Well, I love the videos. I love what you're doing over at Uncanny Expeditions on YouTube. Give them a follow if you're into this sort of thing, like I am. I think you would really find it fascinating. Check out the series that Anders has done here on the Skunkworks facility. His most recent one was just published about 7 days ago, and that's where we got some of this remarkable footage. Before I let you go, like we're seeing this truck, I just want to keep talking to you. But this flatbed truck with this, airframe that's on it, you watch this truck kind of going back and forth here. And what's remarkable is this truck goes underground. Like this thing is huge. This underground facility must be massive.
Yeah, there's so many theories about this Hellendale facility. It's definitely kind of a cornerstone in UFO UAP lore because it has such a large underground component to it. So the pylon that comes up from the facility, it's 200 feet tall, and the facility is 200 feet deep. So you could really hide a lot of things down there. And there's all kinds of speculation out there that there's underground tunnels connecting this to other facilities in the area, Area 51, Edwards Air Force Base. The only way I'd be able to confirm that is if I were able to rent like some ground penetrating radar or something like that. But we do know for a fact that it would be a great place to hide some of this stuff just because you already have that underground infrastructure there. And as you say,
Well,
this
and how
truck was
hot it
able to
is.
drive down there, and the truck, it fully entered the underground test chamber, and they loaded the model onto it and they drove it right out. So
Yeah, and how hot it is and inhospitable. Even in your video, you're talking about how, my God, it's just been brutally hot. So
yeah,
it's just not. It's a great place to hide stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
It's like Walter White in Breaking Bad out in the New Mexico desert. It's a good place to hide
Yeah, it's
stuff.
like the underground laundry facility or whatever he had out there.
Right, exactly. Anders, great to have you here on the show again. The YouTube channel is called Uncanny Expeditions. Check out his latest videos on Skunkworks, and I'm looking forward to your next videos, by the way. Thanks, Anders. Great to have you here.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Thanks so much.